Hey folks, Vic Noble here. That's me on the left and my handsome partner Darko Ali on the right, who's the lead coach for our Coach's Corner service. And in this week's video, I'm going to walk you through an advanced candle action trade, ACAT as we call it. That was a very nice little scalp trade setup. Of course, our trading approach is scalable to any style, whether it's scalping or swing trading or whatever, day trading, of course. As most of you know, every trade that we take needs to be centered around key levels of support or resistance, okay, which is foundational to our approach. But another very valuable key to a great trade is the proper understanding of market structure. And at the end of this video, I'm going to give you some information on a free webinar next week, on October the 7th, that I think you'll find very beneficial. So be sure to listen to the end and get that information. Okay, let's take a look at a really good little scalp setup. Okay, this little scalp trade setup was actually identified by some Coach's Corner members, and it was on the Euro Swissy pair, which you see in front of you here. So for any of our trades, no matter what the style, for an advanced candle action trade, or ACAT as we call it, we need to see candle action at support or resistance. Okay, were we at a level of support? That's the question, because this is a buy here. Well, for scalping, we look at the 4-hour chart. Then we go to our 15-minute chart for entry. But I'll tell you this, it is very useful to always keep an eye on the other higher time frames like the daily and even the weekly. You know, the weekly can give you very good perspective and really help your odds. If you look at the weekly chart on this pair, we were at this level here. Let me just zoom that out a little bit. This was support from 2017. Look how it held in here. If you go to the daily chart, it's the same thing in here. You can see the support in here that held out, went below it a little bit, came up, and when it came back to it, what we're looking for, like this could have stopped anywhere down here. I mean, and could it have gone down to this low here? For sure, but it didn't. The fact is it stopped here, and what we do then is wait for price to show us the way. And when it got down to here, if you go down to the 4-hour chart, what it did is it had support from before, it came up and came down and hit it again. And when this happens, excuse me, now it's time to start looking for price action. Okay, and we have specific price action candles that we look for, and this is what it looks like right here. So when that happens, we then go to our 15-minute chart. That's what we use for scalping. And what we're looking for is a level, a support or resistance level to enter at on a 15-minute chart that makes sense from a reward to risk point of view. Okay, because, you know, when price came down, let me just get my little handy dandy pen out here. When price came down, you could have figured, well, maybe this would be support, or maybe this would be support, or maybe, you know, this would be support. There's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is, when you're going to have a stop down below here, your risk is too big compared to your reward potential. And this level here, okay, if I can draw a reasonably straight line, that was a level that made sense, less than a 20 pip risk, and the reward potential on this is at more than a 2-to-1 by going to the 4-hour chart, which I'll show you in just a second. But when you buy it down here, as price gets going, what you want to do is manage the trade. Like trade management's the holy grail of trading. It's so important, you know, and when we start hitting these opposing levels of resistance like this, don't lose money on these trades, you know, like that you don't want to be doing that. Then you go to the 4-hour chart, and you can use the 4-hour chart for taking your ultimate profit on. And the entry was down on here, and as price went up, notice that this level right here, you see this price reaction straight down like this? That's a strong level. There's something with that. And sure enough, price did react off of it. Nothing wrong with taking a profit right there. That was over 2-to-1 reward risk on that. So, you know, this is all hindsight now. It went up a lot higher. We were at weekly and daily support. So, you know, some may elect to hold it. That's an individual thing. This was I'll say this. Trade management is always going to be different for everybody. Okay, depending on individual risk tolerance and that kind of thing, but there is certainly an easy 2-to-1 in this little scalp trade. So listen, next Monday, October the 7th, 2019 at 3 p.m. Eastern, Darko is going to do a full presentation on how we use what we call swing breaks and rotations in order to identify high odds opportunities. These webinars are normally for our Coaches Corner members only, but we're opening up this webinar to the public, and there's a registration link in the text below this video or in the email that you received. So yeah, I mean, totally free. You're welcome to attend. I think you'll find it to be very beneficial information, so I hope you can make it. Also, and by the way, if you can't make it, register anyway and we'll send you the recording. Also, you can now start to receive one of Darko's pre-market analysis videos, PMAs we call them, every week, no charge. And there's a link in the text below or in the email that you received that you can click on it and start receiving your free PMA video. Of course, Darko does these every single day for our Coaches Corner members, but this will give you a little idea of what they're like. I hope you got something out of this video, and if so, we'd sure appreciate it if you'd hit the like button, and be sure to follow us. And when you do, click that little bell so that you'll get notified whenever I put out a new video. I put out a new video every Friday, but sometimes I'll post videos midweek, which could be, a trade we had or whatever. Okay, that's it for now. I really appreciate that you took the time to listen to this video, and I hope that you all have a great weekend. Thanks again. Take care.